books matter. It's terrific. Hello, everybody. It's Centipede Press Day. I got a box in the mailbox, and it gots to get out. Centipede Press Day, I said, there's a book that came out that was announced not too long ago, a few weeks ago, called FEESTERS in the Lake by Bob Leman. And I never heard of it. A lot of the Centipede Press stuff that comes out, I know there are folks out there that know everything about everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't one of them. But anyway, I love Centipede Press books. The very first exposure I ever had was Joe R. Lansdale's Drive-In Trilogy. And that was such a neat book, such a neat edition. When I bought that book, I'd never heard of Centipede Press. And somehow I stumbled onto a Facebook group dedicated to that publication. And I said, holy cow, an entire Facebook group dedicated to one publisher. And then I realized, wait a second, there's a bunch of them. A lot of publishers have, or some of the publishers have their own dedicated Facebook groups created by fans who love books from that publisher. And Centipede Press is typically regarded in the most high, among the most high of all the limited edition book publishers. I really don't hear people saying much bad about them. And in my experience, you've got very, very expensive books and also very economically priced books and all sorts in between. Great big giant names of volumes and authors, and also stuff you've never heard of before. And Feasters in the Lake, for me and for a lot of people, is something you've never heard of before. So when I think it was a newsletter came out, it said Feasters in the Lake, had an unbelievably looking picture of the cover of that book. I said, wow, that looks awesome. It was $100, but I'd never heard of it. And it was limited to 500 copies, 500 signed copies. The author is deceased, so they use a facsimile signature, and they were saying you get a signature from the artist, Bob Eagleton, and you get a signature from the author of the introduction, Jim Rockwell. And then Centipede does something that I think is neat. For the authors that are no longer with us, deceased authors, they'll have a facsimile signature, and it's neat to me because when you look at that signature page, it looks complete. It's signed. It's got a signature by the author. It's not the authentic signature handwritten by the author, but it makes it look, at a glance, or even staring at it, it makes it look complete. You've got the names written down here that should be written down. And to me, it's the next best thing, I guess. One of the things about Centipede Press, though, is, like I said, they are very popular, and they've got a devout group of people that will buy everything Centipede Press without fail, regardless of price, and all that kind of stuff. And they also have the publisher has loyalty to the buyers, and but many times what will happen is they'll do a series of books by an author, and so they might have 6, 7, 8, I don't know, many. And many times the people that bought the very first book will automatically get dibs on the second book. So I'll see people posting up books on the internet saying, oh, look what I got from Centipede Press today, and I'll say, what the heck, I want one. So I'll go to their website, and it's not even listed there. No sign hiding her hair. And then folks on the fans group will say, oh yeah, it's coming out, they're doing this, that, and the other, and I kind of feel like I missed something. So not knocking Centipede Press in any way, but for me it's been a publisher that's been kind of hard. There's first of all some unbelievable books that were published before I ever even heard of them, so there's no chance in heck that I would have bought them when they were new. And now the price, because they're desirable books in the secondary market, is so high, I'll never ever pay secondary market prices for them. So it's kind of a pipe dream for me. But then in other situations, the new stuff that comes out, sometimes I just don't get a crack at it. But that's a whole lot of words. Feasters in the Lake is an example of one that I did get a chance at. So I got the email. I'd never heard of it. It looked really cool. I was very tempted, but I wasn't sure. So I go on to Facebook, go to the Centipede Press group, and I hear people, person after person after person, saying, gotta get it, got one, yes, I've been waiting, I'm excited, all these things. And I said, what the heck, I'm missing out on something. So I mashed them buttons, paid the freight, got it coming my way a few weeks, 3-4 weeks, whatever it was later. The book is in the mail. And what we're here to do today is to show you what I got in the mail and see if it meets or exceeds expectations. I got an idea of which one it will be. What do you think? Let's take my Alaska knife that was made in Chicago, but I got it in Alaska, so it's the Alaska knife. Open this mother up. See how pretty she be. And it's the neat thing about stuff like this is it truly broadens my horizons as a reader. This is my book. This is my stack of books, so I look at what it does for me. Makes my collection better, but it broadens my horizons as a reader. Once I started realizing that there was loyalty to a publisher, and I started paying attention to what publishers are putting out there besides just my favorite authors and the books they make, I started buying books that I'd never read from authors that I'd never read, and then I started reading those books and reading those authors, and it's opened up a whole new world for me, and Centipede Press is doing that, and I think it's on purpose, opening up a world of authors, a lot of authors that a lot of people never heard of. You'll see words like cult following and things like that, and when you see cult following, it means most people don't watch it, don't know about it, don't read it, don't know it, stuff like that. And what they're doing is opening up the world to some of these authors and their works that the world doesn't know anything about. So it's a cool thing. Win-win-win situation. So we open this great big box up. One of the things I love about the folks at Centipede Press is the books come in a great big box. That improves my odds of getting a book in the mail that's not busted up. And then the other thing, utilitarian I think would be the word, but very effective usually, is they wrap that book up in regular old the good stuff. Bubble wrap, the good stuff that pops, the stuff that makes a noise. And I like that. So let's basic stuff, simple stuff, but at least in my case, it's always worked. And this book, this is honestly the first straw when you're breaking a camel's back by loading it up with straw. The first straw is vital. Without the first straw, you never get enough straws to break the camel's back. Anyway, this was the first straw in the attempt to break the camel's back, and they succeeded. I'm the camel. They broke the back, and this was the first straw. Seeing this picture, I said, holy moly, I gots to get me one of them. So sure enough did. Our book is wrapped in a shrink wrap. I'll get that off because books need to be wrapped in shrink wrap until they get to my house. And then the shrink wrap's got to hit the road jack. There's our spine and the back of the dust jacket, and I didn't see this. I don't think I've seen this picture, so it looks very good. It looks like a wraparound image. In a minute, we'll show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. I'm enjoying this. I'm admiring it. Excuse my admiration, but man, the artwork looks so nice, so good. I'm excited. Whatever. I'm getting antsy, getting ahead of myself. Let's take this plastic off. And I think I've shared with you before, there's a secret to this. The secret is when you're trying to get the plastic off of a book without damaging the book, the secret is cut the plastic, not the book. If you do that, you will never damage the book. Good information, huh? Anyway, this is always the hardest part, unfolding that son of a gun, getting it off the corners without putting pressure on my stuff. But I figured it out. As you already saw, I think you saw, there's mine, number 384. There's 500 like it. This one's mine. I don't know if I told you this was a signed edition. The signed editions, basically, I believe the difference is they've got the signature page. Unsigned editions don't have the signature page. I believe that's the only difference. If I'm wrong, let me know. I don't mind getting educated. So we have a Smithsonian binding. built-in ribbon, and you notice the top page edges of this book look different than the end pages. That's a top edge spray, and I like that. To me, it's a very small touch, and it's a touch that often causes problems. Many times when a publisher does that, they do spray on the page ends, the top edge, whatever. That spray bleeds down in and causes ugliness, ugly spots on the inside of the book, which I see none in this case. I'm quickly flipping through just to see if there's any bleed through, and I don't see any. But let me show you our dust jacket without the plastic, because the plastic is just for getting it to me in good shape. And there's our spine, and man, it looks cool. And then the back of the book. Now, before I go any farther, let me get this dust jacket off, because it's hard to do that, because I see something cool. I'll show it to you in a minute. Let's get this dust jacket off and look at the inside. If you're not familiar with Centipede Press, that looks very shiny, plastic-ish. I don't know what it's made out of. It almost feels plastic-ish for a dust wrapper, but that is sweet. It's a moment of silence. It just looks so good. Sometimes you got to lay out, stop talking. Looks so good, man. That's the thing that got my attention. Got my attention right there. Let me set that to the side and show you what makes a guy like me pause. It's hard to see with the light, but on our boards, man, it looks so cool. Right there it is. Anyway, looks so good. These Centipede Press always seems to do it, but this one really looks neat. They make a book where if you take the dust jacket off and you were to set this on the shelf like that, it looks so good. Looks so good. It's one of those tempting things. I wish I was wealthy enough. Many of these books that I've got, I'd have 2 copies. Dust jacket on, dust jacket off. So I'd have 1 row of dust jacket ons, then I'd have 1 row of dust jacket offs. We'll just pretend I didn't just say that. I'll pretend I didn't just say that. It was not on purpose, I assure you. Here's our end papers, and get a little bit closer so you can see the artwork that's included on the end papers. There's the front. Let's see if the back is any different. Let's see. It looks like at a glance the artwork on the back end papers is the same. Anyway, I didn't know. Sometimes people will do something a little different. There's our frontispiece. It looks so good. Take a pause, take a good look. Looks so good. And what do you expect? When I buy a Centipede Press book, I expect that it's going to look so good. As I flip through the pages, look at here. Golly. Looks so good. That's that Bobby Eggleton artwork that we talked about earlier. Not only a dust jacket, but all kind of good stuff in here. So this Feasters in the Lake is a collection of stories, and is a collection of stories from Bob Leman. Leman, is that how you say it? Bob Leman. Collection of stories, and there was already something very similar was published by Midnight House in 2002. It was limited, I think. This one's limited to 500. I think that was limited to 450, something like that. Slightly fewer of those made than this. And it wasn't signed. I looked at them on eBay. They had a limitation page that had a number, and then whatever. Limited edition. So when this came out, I looked there to see if there was anything on eBay from the author. Is there other cool stuff? Is there stuff similar, comparable? My $100, am I buying something that is not going to be worth the $100 one day? Because, man, I still hold $1 dear. So I don't want to just throw money at something if I don't know what I'm getting into. So a lot of times I will, if I feel like I have time, do some research. Now the thing about this was, I felt like I had time, and I did some research, and I decided I'm going to buy this book, add it to the collection. And then very quickly after I decided to buy the book, I found out I didn't have as much time as I thought I was going to have, because it sold out quick. 500 copies were gone pretty fast, and some people missed out. So I got lucky. I dragged my feet a little bit so I could figure out what I was getting. And anyway, that's just some of the information for your infotainment that I got there. So this edition was $100. It sold out, like I said, pretty quick. There's an unsigned version that's still available. I don't know how many there are. It's $99, so you get a $1 discount for that one. But again, as far as I know, the only difference is one page, a signature page, which I'll show you in a minute. As far as I know, same dust jacket, same quality binding, same boards, same end spray, same illustrations. I don't know. As far as I know, it's the same book, just missing that signature page. So to some folks, that doesn't matter. Some folks it does. Whatever it is whatever it is to you. Whatever you like is whatever you like. It don't really matter to me. What else? What else is there? Well, let's stop screwing around. I'm flipping through, seeing some neat stuff. We talked about the intro. There's some stuff here signed Nancy Leman, or not signed, from Nancy Leman, July 2018. A window into the work of Bob Leman, and this is Bob Leman in dress uniform. One of the other neat things that I find about Jared's work with Centipede Press is a lot of times he dedicates the book not only to the work but to the author, and he seems like puts in a lot of stuff about the author, kind of a get to know you, why should you care sort of stuff. And that's what I like. It's a commitment, man. It's a dedication to the work and to the people. So I'm just showing you a little bit of this stuff here so you can see what we're getting into. It's not just a book with a signature page and a signature. This is a true special edition. Cost $100, and I've seen very little, but I feel like I got my money's worth already. So very pleased with this. And man, I don't know of anybody, I haven't heard it anyway, people talk about, I bought a Centipede Press book and I'm unhappy with what I got. It's almost always people saying, man, I got a Centipede Press book and I love it, I'm pleased with it. Or folks saying, man, I wish I could have got that Centipede Press book, but I got beaten to the punch, I missed out, stuff like that. So usually that's the way it goes. I'm just flipping through to see what else is in here. A minute ago, I just was flipping through the pages looking for see if there was any bleed over from the spray on top, and I saw some black and white pictures in there. When you're not looking for stuff, you usually find stuff. When you're looking for stuff, well, it's not always as successful, but that's the pilgrimage of Clifford M. And from what I understand, this book, this collection, would be the same stories that's in the previous collection, but there was one that was added. It's not a new story, but it was a story that's new to this collection called A Clock for a Demon. And the Centipede Press website actually compared that to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And in fact, when I was looking at the Centipede Press website, they described this as an eclectic collection of stories that defies easy or obvious categorization. And that makes sense. So it doesn't fit into particular genres. And there's a lot of authors out there that write stuff that you just can't box everything they do into. There we go. So this was on the cover, this picture here, what I was trying to show you on the cover. Really, really good. A good choice for the cover artwork, and a phenomenal choice for the dust jacket artwork. Anyway, a lot of authors are hard to box in. We do a good job of boxing people, but usually people don't fit the boxes that we stick them in. We're insistent on sticking them in boxes. You are this, you are that. But in all reality, we aren't that, and we aren't this. We are everything, all things, something else. We're different. And anyway, and that's I think that's what Centipede Press is trying to say about Bob Leman. There's think I saw at least one more in here flipping through the pages, so I don't want to miss any of these pictures. They look really neat. Really simple, but really neat, and they're there. And then I've also got the limitation page, which I'll show you. And unless I've missed something, which maybe I did, I think this is what I saw earlier too. Thought I was missing something. Anyway, I believe that. Whatever. There's more. Now we'll spend the rest of the day looking at pictures. I thought I was done. How about that? And that one says, shootout at the OK Corral. I've been to the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. That's another story for another day, but it was very interesting and exciting. That's a place and a lore that's lived in my mind and my heart and soul since childhood, and I was excited to get to go there and see all that stuff. But more pictures that I'm flipping through here at the end. We're wrapping this up now. But the limitation page, and I believe this is what separates signed from unsigned, is this page right here. So if this page right here is not a big deal to you, you're interested in the book, go on Centipede Press website and buy the unsigned edition, and $99 plus shipping. There you go. Mine's number 384, the collected short fiction of Bob Leman, edited by Jim Rockhill. Artwork by Bob Eagleton, is limited to 500 copies for sale, plus extra copies for contributors. This is copy number 384 with a facsimile signature by Bob Leman, Jim Rockhill signed here, and Bob Eagleton signed there. And those are authentic signatures. Feasters in the Lake. And this is my my video, The Feasters in the Lake. Hope I did a halfway decent job. Hope you liked my video. I can think of no more lies to tell, so with that being said, c'est la vie, baby. Thanks.
Okay, nice and loud, you're going to repeat after me. By carrying my Benchley on my shoulder, I promise to protect and respect the natural world here on Pandora and back home on Earth. Have you ridden the Benchley before? Have you gone on the ride yet? Perfect. So we're going to practice something. You're going to go on the ride later, so you'll know. The Navi people, they have a word that they yell, and it's sivako. What that means in English is rise to the challenge. Since you're challenging yourself, good, so you know what it means. So since you're challenging yourself to raise an Benchley, on the count of 3, we're actually going to yell out sivako and see if there's any other trainers in the building, okay? So nice and loud at the end of 3. Sivako. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sivako!
Sivako!
Congratulations, my friend. You have officially adopted your Benchley.